There was another thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Interview style, because I'm always learning. You're always learning.
Yeah.
I want to know how you're approaching interviews, how you're going about these things.
So, actually, great segue. Building off the whole, I love to converse, right?
Yeah.
I don't prep.
None. Wow, I mean, you have the opposite, complete opposite. Yeah.
I see you scrolling on your phone for no stuff. The only thing I'll prep,
Yeah.
and I'm not even exaggerating, is maybe maximum 3 pointers of what I want to talk about.
And you just let it flow.
I let it flow.
That's hilarious.
Because bro, like I said,
no, I'm not judging. I'm
no,
not saying
course,
yeah.
I'm saying my thing is the reason I do it that way. I like a whole conversation. I'm not podcasting. The cameras aren't here.
You're right.
Mike's not here. It's just you and me. We're having a conversation.
Right.
That's it. Talk to me like I would talk to you if nothing was here.
That's interesting.
And that's my approach to it, because I don't care if like you don't know how to talk. I can carry a conversation. I've learned over the past 4 years of speaking how to carry a dead conversation. I've talked to some dry motherfuckers in my life.
Yeah, talk to a wall.
I've talked to a fucking wall, bro, and I've had a whole conversation with the fucking brick wall out front. Like, I can carry a dry conversation. I can make it go, but it's like it's how engaging can you make the person listening, right? Like how engaged can you make the person listening is because I can speak and ramble and ask you random ass questions. If you're not interested in what I'm saying, you're not gonna give me answers. You're gonna have that dry conversation, and I can keep going. Now the dynamic just looks off. Fuck the conversation. The dynamic just looks off.
Of course.
You need to sit there and just actually have like a genuine conversation. That's why I don't prep questions. The one thing I do ask every person though is there something you don't want me to talk about?
Oh, okay, I got you. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because like I'm not an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not gonna come up like TMZ in front of you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Hey man,
like,
what do you think about that last situation?
Hey, tell me about that case that's open right now. Like,
you got a case running?
Yeah, didn't you kill somebody? Is
that kid all right?
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, before the cameras roll, that's one thing I do ask is there anything you don't want me to talk about? I think one person out of the 20 or 30 interviews I've done has said, just don't talk about X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up. That's fine. Everyone else like, nah, dude, everything's fair game.
Yeah.
And when they give me that green light, dude, it's my fucking birthday. Like, I'm feeling great.
I do a similar thing, but it's not quite that. I say like, if you say something that you are not happy with, tell me, no problem, I'll edit it. So basically, like, like it's the same thing. Like,
I think I told you this too, where I'm just like, I learned to talk better because I like my shit one take.
Right.
I don't like to edit unless it's like absolutely necessary. I think there's 2 podcasts I have to actually edit something out.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason is because either, like you said, they had said something that they're like, oh shit, like I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Or they said something and they're like, actually, can I change my answer? But normally I like the whole freeform, unedited, raw, uncut style podcast because to me, it's like, again, it's a conversation. Right. If I'm talking to you in real life, if I slip up and I say something wrong, I can't take that back. That's what happened.
Yeah. Like, there's no going back. Yeah.
You know, I can't take that back.
Yeah.
So that's my interview style. It's like it's just I'll get 2 general or 3 general points of what I want to speak about.
Right.
I might not even touch those points. There's been 4 times I think it was where I had points written. I didn't even touch those points because the conversation went completely different direction.
Sure.
I get what I want. The interview, you talk about what you need to talk about. We're both happy.
I gotcha. That's interesting. We have literally 2 completely different.
But see how it works.
Yeah.
It works so well.
Right.
And it's like you and I can sit across from each other right now and have this whole conversation, this whole discussion, and even the style, like I'm approaching this like the way I normally do. I'm just having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I see you scrolling, you're looking at points, you're having your style, we're having a still conversation. Yeah. It works. It's not like, oh, I have one style, you have another style, so it's gonna be like a clash and it's not gonna work. No, bro, I think conversing with anybody can work in any sort of way because as long as you if you're making a valid point, if you're making a valid point about whatever, this can is purple. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Look, yo, check this design out. It's got like a skull.
We're not sponsored by Monster.
We're not sponsored by Monster. So let me change that. Let me flip that over. This cup is red.
We are looking though.
But so my point is like I can have a whole conversation about this fucking can.
Sure.
This cup.
I gotcha.
Like you just gotta ramble, bro, and like the more you do it, the more you can fucking go.
It also depends on the style of podcast too, because your podcast with Karlee is very different than my podcast with 65-year-old guy that built video games in the 90s. So I have a completely different approach though, because I like the Joe Rogan style where you can talk about anything for 3 hours. I like the way he does it, but I don't have 3 hours. And none of my guests have 3 hours.
Right.
So I need to have at least a good understanding. If the note thing is not really, I don't need to look at the notes.
Right.
The notes are there just in case I ever get stuck in a point where like, oh man, I really don't know what to ask, or like I have a brain fart. We're all human,
of course.
But what I do prior to a week for a podcast, I will religiously watch, and everything they've done, everything I will scour the internet. I'll watch. So if you did a podcast from like 2005, I'll find it. I'll watch it all the way through. If it's painful, I'll go through it. I don't give a shit.
That's just so respectable.
Yeah, I have to find the little details that someone missed out on, so I can ask you that question. Like, hey, you missed this part. And I liked Sean Evans. I think Sean Evans, the guy from Hot Ones, right? Yeah. I liked his style, just because like it makes for an interesting interview, but I also think it gains a massive amount of respect from the person you're interviewing, because they've done probably a bunch of interviews, and some of them have been half-assed. Yeah. Whereas like, if the interview tanks, it's not because I'm misinformed. That would be, to me, that would be the most like sad thing. Like, I invite you, I tell you, hey, I need an hour of your time, and then I'm not informed about you. Exactly. That to me is such a like, that's like, come on. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's respectable too. Yeah. Even with the Sean Evans, how many times have the guests have said, that's a great question. Yeah. You're a really good interviewer. Like, right. That's invaluable. Someone like me, bro, and someone like you, I'm sure too, who does this, hearing that compliment is so fucking good. Right. You know how many times people have been like, yo, Sik, that was a great question, or you're really good at what you do. I'm like, I don't even prep. Am I good at just not bullshitting, but am I good at just kind of like freestyling? Right. And I'm like, okay, so that to me is like a good payoff. I love hearing that shit, bro. Right. When they're like, yo, you're really good at what you do. You can talk. I'm like, dude, that like several people think I prep questions and I prep certain things the way I kind of just flow. And I'm not bragging or whatever, sucking my own dick, so to speak, but like, I just keep shit flowing in a way where it's just, it seems like it's prepped. Sure. But I can just connect the dots now. I'm to that point where I can just kind of take this, and that, and make it one. Yeah. There's a real like artistry to being able to transition perfectly, and understanding the cues and timings of like, hey, he's rambling on a little bit about something that like maybe like, you know, he doesn't need to keep going into that much detail. Exactly. Hey, this is a perfect moment to transition to something even like different, better, fun, whatever. Maybe not like in a disrespectful way, but like just to keep a natural conversation flowing. So there is really a level of skill, which maybe from the outside doesn't look like it's there, but you'll know when you listen to a shit interview or a shit. Oh yeah, you'll be like, man, what are these questions? Yeah, this guy even know this guy. Actually, there's somebody I know who did that too. It's like, how hard is it to possibly do it? So just like a mock, I set everything up, Mike's camera, everything. I'm like, all right, let's talk. Yeah, they couldn't speak. Right. It's something about that camera though. Once that camera goes on, bro, it's something about somebody, they just freeze up. Yeah, and the only way to like overcome that is through hours and hours of doing it. To me, the biggest moment was not when like a video did really well or a video started doing consistently well. It was at a moment where I realized it doesn't matter what they make the video about. I can make it about anything. It could be the stupidest thing. I could be the biggest idiot. To me, I'm fully comfortable in my skin now that I can make anything. Yeah. That was like the big like, you know, moment, let's say. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't about like, oh, you reached a certain amount of whatever views, subscribers. Like, who gives a shit? Yeah. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. But now I'm comfortable. I can make anything. To me, that means my potential is unlimited. Because if I can make anything, I mean, every video. Who's gonna say shit? Yeah. Well, right. So like,